Hello and welcome back to the HCW channel. My name is DP, and we're here for another UK indie show review, or UK indie spotlight, as you might want to call it. I'm DP, as I said, and joining me is the guy who attended the show that we're discussing today, RateWrestle. Hello, Rate.
Hello, DP.
How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Getting by.
This is really awkward, isn't it? No,
It
yeah,
is.
I'm doing well. Yeah. I went to BCCW last night of recording. I don't know when this is going to be out. It might be out Monday. But I went on Friday night and it's Saturday now. But yeah, I'm looking forward to reviewing it. And how have you been?
Yeah, not too bad. Life in London is, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's been alright. Just balancing a lot of things and having very little time to get things done. So
But we've got an
yeah, but it's
interview coming up now,
hey.
all because of me and my wonderful
Literally, yeah.
Christmas shirt. Yeah. Oh God, it's blood. No. Oh no. Oh no. There we go.
We can't show it. Whereas I'm wearing my Tesco jumper because I work at Tesco.
Oh, what fun it is. That's what it says. And it's got Moses like from Simpsons.
And mine says questionable quality down
Yep.
there somewhere. They're in little red.
That's what we thought when we added you to HCW. But yeah, we probably should
so,
start.
so yes, this was BCCW Black Country Championship Wrestling event held on Friday the 2nd of December at Tipton Allen Sports Bar.
Yes.
Is that right?
Tipton!
So unless saying to kick off the show, I can go into the
Um,
first match.
I'll mention that it was sold out, which is awesome. I don't know how many people were actually there, but it was sold out. It was very family friendly, which I didn't expect. There was a lot of kids, but overall, it was like it didn't take away from the spectacle. Like kids will be kids, as
Yeah.
we'll discuss as we go along.
Okay, so with that in mind, we kick off with the first match of the night, which, according to these notes I've got here, was Keon or Keon. That how you pronounce it, sorry.
Kian,
Keon.
yeah,
Keon Kelly
yeah.
and the spectacular twat, Charles Crowley.
I wonder which one you know out of the two. God damn it.
I saw Kelly at Coliseum, but like he wasn't wrestling, so I don't really know him too well.
Okay. And Crowley, clearly, but you got his whole moniker. You know what Crowley is. But yeah. So yeah, this was the opener. It was pretty much a work the crowd kind of match. Crowley obviously is very outgoing, and Kian reminded me of Shah Samuels, like that kind of. He had that kind of heel work about him. Yeah, like Crowley. There was some funny bits in it. Crowley tried to do the typical magic trick with his hat. Went to punch Kian and he blocked it and went, "I've seen this too many times now." Then eventually he got slapped. It was just very character driven match. They were just getting the crowd behind each other. Like the crowd were fully into Crowley. They kept calling him the Peacock. I don't know if that's an actual thing or because of his hat they just decided to call him the Peacock. And both guys went for it. Kian nearly won the match a few times, but Crowley was just kicking out. And then Crowley picked up the win with like a submission roll up where he was, I can't remember, he might have been the master lock because Kian kept trying to get him the master lock. And he went up the ropes and rolled and got the win.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Who was it? Bret Austin style.
Yeah, that kind of roll up. Yeah, I rated 2 3/4. It was a good opener. I'm not massively into like crowd. Like there wasn't. It was more the crowd basis than the actual matchup. But 2 3/4 is not a bad match.
Fair enough. So moving on from that match, we go on to the next one, which was, to my notes here, a fatal four-way match
Yes.
between the following: TJ Sky,
Yep.
CJ Rawlins, Shane Hooker, and James Ellis.
Yeah. So just prior to this, they had announced on the show that there's going to be a new commissioner. They announced it's going to be, and the new commissioner was the man himself, RC Chaos. So he's come down. So RC's been having a tough time in like life in general. Not like this isn't wrestling terms. He's like his personal kind of things. He's kind of not been in wrestling that much. His 2022's not been the greatest. But he's now the commissioner of BCCW, and he's at the moment he was the reigning FCW Black Country champion. But because he can't defend it as much at the moment, he put the title on the line in the Fatal 4-Way. So he vacated the title, and his first gesture as a commissioner was the winner of this match.
Yep.
It would be the Black Country champion.
Fair enough. So
Um,
just to quickly sort of segment off that, is RC Chaos a sort of what's the word? Is it like a real life booker, or is it more like a character?
is the commissioner of the thing? I believe he's part owner of BCCW anyway. I don't quote me on that, but I'm sure I've read that at some point. But yeah, it's party. So he obviously works behind the scenes and stuff with it. But I think this was just getting him back on the shows really. Because this is my first show there, but it seems like he hasn't been around a lot. So this is just trying to work his way back into the shows. But then we kicked off with the Fatal 4-Way, as you mentioned. So this was your typical like 1-in 1-out match. So everyone was hitting their moves. It was two good guys, which was CJ Rollins and Shane Hooker, and then the other two, James Ellis and TJ Sky, who were nearly get mixed up with CJ Rollins. They were so there was kind of like ganging up on the two all the time on the heels. CJ Rollins, the crowd was so behind this guy, it's unbelievable. Like he reminds me of like Tommy End. Like he has that kind of look about him, but he's not as stroke orientated. He just has like the long hair, tattoos, looking gruff as hell.
I know he's going to be at the Russell Carnival show in January. Well.
Yeah.
Future X Company, it's called.
Yeah, so he's getting out there now. Like this is the first time I've actually seen him, I believe. But I really enjoyed the match overall. Like there was good action throughout it. Like I said, it's 1-in 1-out, so people were doing like one special move, then they about to get the pin, and someone else would jump in. It's James Ellis, isn't it? Because I haven't got the notes of his actual name. James Ellis was one of them. Yeah, he's great, James Ellis. Like the character work and everything like that. He's brilliant. I think he calls himself the Brilliance or something like that. But he's very good live. It's definitely someone to see if he gets a chance. But it ended with CJ Rollins picking up the win. I rated it 3 stars. It was more of like the atmosphere kind of boosted this up, like the atmosphere, the crowd backing him, and he actually winning the match, and like him leaving afterwards, getting the title, and he stood on the entrance ramp, the flipping room was blaring, and he comes out to proper like full on metal music as well, so it's just everywhere. It's like, yeah, but it was definitely one of the top matches of the night.
Fair enough. So with that in mind, we move on to the third match of the night, which is between, according to these notes, so this is a no DQ match between Stephen Keane and Regan.
Yeah. So from what I don't know much about their history, but judging by it's a no DQ match, I think there must have been some slight past prior to this. This was a bit hard, like a bit more hard hitting than expected. Not from the two guys, just from obviously I said there was a lot of kids and so forth around, so I didn't expect it to be as hard hitting. Like there was the spots where Regan tried to dive through the ropes and Keane just swung a chair and clamoured him. They did a spot on, where the chair is. They open up the chair. That guy went for a back Russian leg sweep. Then he reversed it. He was going for a suplex, reversed it, and then it was Steve Keane did a back suplex onto the chair, and it just didn't. It cracked. Like it didn't bend as normal, and you just heard. It was grim. Regan pulled out a barbed wire baseball bat at this point. Keane was crying on the floor like, don't, we can be boys. Let's go to the bar. And then he low blowed him, whacked him with a bat. Then Regan got a bit more in control of the match, and he ended up picking up the win with, I'll call it the bullfrog splash. It's the same as Kevin Owens. It's not a frog splash when you're that big. But I rated it 2.5 stars. Like it didn't go that long, and it wasn't as brutal as I feel like there could have been more to it. But from what it was enjoyable.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's totally understandable.
Yeah.
With that in mind, we move on to the fourth match. Is this before or after the break?
This is the first half main event. Technically, you'd go with.
Fine. Yeah. So for the first half main event, we have the second title match of the night. For the King of the Division Championship, we had challenger Luke Douglas taking on champion Lucas Casimir.
Yep, not Kashmir. Okay. So yeah, they've got an event coming up in February, which is called the King of the Division 2, or something around that title. It's basically like a gauntlet match for the title. But yeah, this was fantastic match. Like, I don't know if it's the Alex Connors bias in me where you're going, it's Luke Douglas in this match, I love it, but like, they both go for it. Like Lucas Casimir is like probably the most over guy in the building, and then Luke, I didn't know he was there. Like, he was a good guy as well. Like, people actually was cheering him. Like, oh, it really confused me because I'm so used to him being an absolute dick. You know, people cheering him on. So yeah, it was just a full of match. Like, there was strong strikes from both guys. Chopping, Luke did his famous now flipping waist like chop that's echoey. You must saw that video on Twitter that showed of him doing it to Nate Riley. It was pretty much like a Rocky kind of moment, like with the strikes, and then like everyone was cheering Luke Casimir, but then Luke got into the match, and then the crowd started turning towards Luke, and it was like Drago versus flipping Rocky, where the Russians are suddenly cheering for Luke. It was it was full on, like the crowd were getting fully behind him. There was a scary bit where Luke was on the top rope, and Casimir went to the top rope, and Luke fell backwards off the top rope, and he clung onto the ring post. So I don't think it was supposed to happen because they went they kind of fought and then went back to the same place. And then Casimir went for a Casimir. I keep saying Casimir, it's going to happen. Casimir hit a top rope Hurricane Rana, like a proper old school Rey Mysterio one. He didn't get all of it, but it was enough to not kind of knock Luke off balance and land on the back. Then Douglas took full control. Casimir went for a springboard. General springboard move. Luke super kicked him out of midair. Then he super kicked in on the floor, and then he went for a swanton bomb. And I expected Casimir just to roll out the way, you know, where it's just like, oh, the building is Luke might win this. And he went for swanton bomb, hit it, and he's going for the pin. And then out of nowhere, Luke Basham, I think his name is. I'm not familiar. It wasn't Luke Basham. It was Jack Ball. The fans lied to me. I'm sorry, Jack Ball. I'm sorry, BCCW. Back to the review. Of him comes in and just springboards and breaks at the pin, and there's a DQ, and I'm depressed because the match is so good. I rate it 3.25 stars. Like, it was so good, the match, and it ended with Luke. Yeah, Luke Basham absolutely annihilating both guys. Because I think he must be something to do with the King Division title previously. And it ended the both match. It was officially announced as a double DQ because he attacked both guys. But yeah, that was also my match of the night. Yeah, it was just.
So far, everything's been up and up.
Yeah, it was very, very good. Like, it was just the atmosphere there as well, like the match itself, but the atmosphere of just like the whole, like, Casimir was full on, everyone was behind him, and Luke's kind of face, but like not many people because of Casimir, but then he kind of built, and then it was like, oh god, and then obviously they kind of did the spoiler ending where you think, oh, he's going to win the title after doing the Rocky segment, and then, oh no, he didn't. Luke Basham. I think it was Luke Basham. I do apologise, I've not seen BCCW, so it could have been anyone.
So am I right in thinking that there wasn't a double turn per se?
No. There was both. They were both faces supposedly. But obviously, because I'm so used to Luke being a nice guy, and I didn't expect he both to both. And I've never seen Luke, but he's very good as well, Lucas Casimir.
Fair enough.
But yeah, match of the night.
Oh, cool. So with that, we went into the interval. Is there anything that you want to say about the interval? Or...
Nothing really. It was just they had. I think BCCW have your typical fan photo segment where you have like 3 of the top wrestlers in the ring to take photos with the crowd. They were quite cheap. It was like £3 to go and take a picture with like 3 of the wrestlers, which was CJ, Regan, and Aluna Blue. They must have made a killing though. The line was miles. And then there was a raffle, which was going on as well. I didn't partake in any of it because I'm a Scrooge.
Okay. I'll say, did you win?
No. Don't even attempt. I don't want to be that guy. There's that guy that rates stuff and he's just won the raffle.
Rigged.
But yeah, so that was the end of the whatever you call that. I've lost the words.
The first half, I guess?
No, not the first half. I meant the in between. Yeah, that's it. Interval, that's the one. Yep. So let's kick off the second part while I still know what's going on.
Fair enough, yeah. This is the second half of the show. where we kicked off with a tag match between between LJ Cleary and Joseph Connors.
Yeah.
Taking on the team of Matt and Mark Clarkwood.
Yeah. So Clark would have been around for years. They remind me of the Hunters. Like they're pretty much like you can hear of them, but they're very West Midlands based. And then obviously LJ and Joseph Connors you're aware of. LJ was like everyone loved LJ Cleary. He's got his whole "It's a Beautiful Life" music going on now, where he runs out, gets a cheer and goes, that's not good enough. Runs out back, runs out, yeah. And then Joseph Connors, as a nice guy, creeped me out. I'm so used to Joseph Connors being an absolute awful person, wrestling wise. Like he's one of my favourite wrestlers ever. When he was the Righteous in Southside, it's so good. It was weird seeing him being nice.
Hi Joseph, if you're watching.
Yeah. So yeah, this was a typical basic. It was a basic tag team match. Like there was no heel really on it. It's typically like your fan match. So Cleary's trying to get the crowd behind them. Like the kids loved him. Like there was basically there was a school of kids, like probably about 8 kids that were in the aisleway at the right, and they were just full on blaring Cleary. And then when Connors got in the ring, one of the kids had to run back to the dad. Goes, "Who's this guy?" And the dad went, "Oh, Joseph Connors," and he ran back, "Connors." And it was just like your typical moves. So Connors and Cleary on top for a lot of it, but then Clarkwood, obviously, actual tag team took over. It ended with a miscommunication bump. So basically, Cleary, Connors got in the corner. Cleary tagged himself in, and Connors was like, "What you doing?" But then he suddenly went, "Okay, then fair enough." Went on the apron. Then Clarkwood threw. Clarkwood got in the way. Cleary ran. Clarkwood moved out the way, and then he hit Connors off the apron. And then they ended up picking up the win with like a bomb. I rated it a 2. Where are we? 2.5 stars. But the best part of this was we all knew what was happening as soon as he hit Connors. We knew what was going to happen. So Connors celebrated with him in the ring. He went, "It's fair enough." They both went to the turnbuckles. Connors ran, hits Cleary, clearly, and then dropped him with one DDT. Then another DDT. And then he just went to the ref. "Check on him. Is he okay then?" And then just left. So I'm clearly that's going to be setting up a match at some point. But yeah, it was just more of the story than the actual match.
Fair enough. Yeah.
And prior to the next match, which was a Lunar Blue, randomly, a guy came out, don't know who the hell he is, absolute scuzzbag he seemed like. He was one of these people, like, "You all missed me, haven't you," and blah, 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 and he's in a suit. Then the guy who was on ring announcer just stunned him, and then carried on with the show, and it was like, what's just happened? So yeah, 6th match, DP.
But yeah, after that interaction, I guess.
Yeah.
We had a match between Luna Blue and
Bevan of the BDK, which is a faction which has Wesker in, I believe, Lucia Lee, and MJ Grayson. There's obviously there's a bit of a gulf between Luna Blue and Bevan's. He's not the tallest guy, but he's a built guy. So Luna Blue got most of the offense in, surprisingly though, until they had to keep cheating, get on the outside to get Bevan involved. She took a few strikes from that end, and then she started clotheslining Bevan, just like clotheslining him down. At this point, the MJ Grayson jumped on the ropes to try to get distracted. Wesker came in the ring and grabbed Luna from behind. Then Bevan was like, "No, I don't want to win this way." So I don't know if this has been a long-standing thing. And then eventually, Luna picks up the win with a roll-up. I rated 2.25 stars. It was fine. It is what it is with the match. But what happened afterwards was grim. So BDK within the ring, obviously they're pissed at Thingy for not cheating. Then the MJ Grayson goes, it's fine. They hug, and then they beat the absolute crap out of him. He's got tattooed on his knuckles, BDK, Bevan. So they grab his hand. Do you know the turnbuckle? Do you know the metal pole in it? They grab his hand, put his hand in there, and they grab a baseball bat. because they're the Devil's Rejects of wrestling. About to wham him with a baseball bat, and then the Luna Blue comes in to make the save, luckily. They all scatter. Then the Luna Blue goes to Bevan. I don't like you still. And then walks off with the baseball bat behind her.
I thought it was a kid's show.
Yeah, I don't think it's a kids show. It's just there was a lot of kids, so I didn't expect it. Some of the stuff, like it's I thought it was family friendly kind of stuff, but then stuff like this was happening. But yeah, 2 1/4 stars. It was fine.
Yeah, fair enough. You'll see it.
It's a beautiful life. I've had that in my head for the whole of this thing now.
So now we go into, I believe, what was the main event of the night.
Yep.
Which sounds like a banger, and I'm ashamed that I missed this now.
So you should be.
We had Dan Maloney.
Bow!
Thank you. Lee Hunter.
Yep. I was so confused. So basically, the Lee Hunter, obviously, was from the Hunter Brothers. They are like fan favourites everywhere I've ever been. Like, and that kind of crap. And then that is from Tipton as well, so it was like the old Tipton chant. So Dan Maloney comes out, everyone's pumped, and he has the power wheel for the beat, and it's blaring, like the music in the room was absolutely, for the whole show was like, oh, what's going on? Gets in the ring, and then Lee Hunter's music hits, comes from behind, whams him in the back, and I'm like, oh yeah, Lee Hunter's a dick in this, that's not good. Then Dan Maloney instantly takes over though. He's like, what you doing? They start battling outside. They get to the bar, beating each other there. Get behind me. Lee starts walking up to the side of me. Dan Maloney grabs him by the trunks and pulls him back. He ends up going in a bin at one point prior to this as well. Then they end up going in the ring, fighting for a bit more. Then they start brawling outside again. Get to the back wall, which is literally probably about an inch behind me. And Lee Hunter goes for a chop, obviously misses. Dan Maloney hits his chop, which is grim. Then Lee Hunter starts gently going, elbows me in the back of the head. Goes to the ring, hold on. Didn't know if I should sell it. Just flip over the front seat in front of me.
What, he put on, like,
No, it was just, obviously he was selling his chest, and he just kind of knocked into me. It wasn't like he didn't just go, BOOM!
Hey, it's that red.
It was just like, do you know when you're not paying attention? I was just looking forward, because I was waiting, he was about to come past, so I started looking forward. Do you know? Then the action picked up. Lee got in the ring and had a bit more offense. He got a chair in the ring, but it wasn't your typical metal folding chair. It was one of them, like the ones you see in a kitchen. Like, it was gold. It has, like, a red, like, seat padding. Like, there was stiff. He was about to hit him. The ref grabbed it off him, luckily. But then he low-blow Driller after the chair shot, and then he hit a few big moves, but Driller kicked out. And then Driller ended up picking up the win. The crowd kind of erupted. I only rated this 2 3/4 stars. Like, it was quite rushed. I don't know if because this was it started around about like 5 past 10, so I don't know, and it was only went for like 10 minutes or so. So I don't know if it was just kind of like they were trying to get it done. Yeah.
Like show.
Yeah, it started at 7:30, the show. So it's like 3. It was under 3 hours, but it was kind of like I think they wanted to finish before like 10:30ish.
You were saying they started at 10:15. I was like, what?
No, yeah. So I think they wanted to kind of get it over with. So it was kind of rushed and a bit of beating, but it was still a good matchup. I just think obviously in more time it would have been a banger, I think, of a match. But overall, good times.
Fair enough. Yeah. I was going to ask you how you're going to sum it up overall. But...
Oh, no, that was just the match. Overall, yeah, very good show. Like, no match properly let it down. I said, like, the Luna Blue match rate 2 1/4, but it was good for what it was. Match of the night, Luke Douglas, my boy. I just rate him high for a reason. Alex Connors is going to watch this and go, hold on. The Fatal 4-Way was very good. It's great to see Arcade Chaos back. Connors being a heel, that's what I need. Don't be a face, it weirded me out. So overall, good night. I'll be back.
Yeah, for the February show.
Yep, February 10th, I'm going to guess. That's what's in my head. It probably isn't, but that's what's in my head, so I'm going with it.
Alright, and have you got any other closing statements?
It's a beautiful life. Of
course. But that brings us, I believe, to an end of this UK Indie Show review / UK Indie Spotlight. I've been DP, your host. This has been RateWrestle.
Yes.
Oh.
What do you want me to do? Yes, I've been RateWrestle. Yes, I have.
Okay, just cut it out. I'll do that again.
I ain't cutting out. I don't cut
No?
shit out.
Fair enough.
This is organic.
Okay, fine. I've been DP. This has been RateWrestle. Our social medias are in the description below, or maybe somewhere on the screen.
You're on the right to you, or left. Technically left, I think.
That
Yeah, left. Yeah.
That way or that
Yeah,
way?
yeah. No, I said yeah to the first one, and then you decided to do the other one.
Yeah, so our social media links are on the right here. Also, believe us in the description below. So feel free to give us a follow. It really helps a lot. And with that, that is the end of this one, and we'll see you next.
Probably.
Peace. Well, no.